Hey guys, welcome back to Red TV. Man United versus Real Sociedad tomorrow night. Europa League football, Thursday, Sunday football. Guys, I'm intrigued for this game. I am intrigued for this game, and every game now feels like a big game for us because we're starting to play better football. This is supposed to be a turnaround season. I wouldn't really name it that. I wouldn't really consider it a turnaround season. I would say it's and I've said it before the season ended, next season, as in this season, when the last season finished, I said this season is going to be a rebuilding season, and we've all said it. All of us as fans have said we need to rebuild this team, we need new players, and we've got new players in this team. And tomorrow night, I'm intrigued to see what starting 11 Ten Hag is going to use, because the fan base seems to be split down the middle in terms of what teams they want to see play. A lot of people want to see the same, not the same, but very similar teams, maybe one or two changes. For me, we got a game at Crystal Palace on Sunday. And we really can't afford to get any injuries right now. I think especially our back four, who I think all of them have played 90 minutes for 3 games in a row. So we can't really risk some of these players to get injured. We can't risk it. So for me, it's as simple as this. Look, I would probably change half the team. And this is the team I think Ten Hag is going to go with, right? I think he's going to go with some sort of change, but keep some players, right? So there's talks that Alanga's been called up. Apparently Martial was not available now for this game, but he was initially. Apparently, there's been reports saying that Ronaldo, Maguire and Antony will start this game. That would be very interesting. With Antony getting 60 minutes against Arsenal, obviously, it looks like Ten Hag wants Antony to get some game time, to get up to speed. Casemiro must start this game. He must start this game. He needs game time. It's only a matter of time before he takes away McTominay's place, in my opinion. But then again, he probably won't be taken until McTominay has a stinker, really. Managers will only really make a change when they start to see inconsistencies in performances. And look, if McTominay continues to play like he did against Arsenal, how can you drop him? How can you drop him? But look, Casemiro will find his place in this team eventually. And he can't keep playing the same team every 3 days. He's going to have a rotation, which he will have against Real Sociedad tomorrow night. So for me, I think he's going to play Dubravka in goal, okay? This is a goalkeeper who, for me, he's not going to really challenge De Gea. He is more of a sweeper-keeper type player in terms of the goalkeeper position. He commands his box somewhat well, and he will challenge De Gea in that part of his game, which De Gea is not really advanced in, as we know. So, for me, he'll put Dubravka in goal. I think the back four is going to be completely changed. I think he's going to go with Luke Shaw, Maguire, Lindelof, and Wan-Bissaka. Look, this is the back four we saw under Ollie for most of the time, who, look, we finished second with. It doesn't mean that, that this team, that back four is good enough compared to the back four we have now. They're not. None of those players are better than the players right now at this moment. Luke Shaw's not better than Malacia at the moment. Maguire's, he's not even better than Varane or Martinez. Not even at the moment, just in general, he's not. And Wan-Bissaka's not better than Lowe in general for me either. I think the only position that can maybe get changed here and there is if Luke Shaw ups his game, just like he did with Telles. I think Malacia's the only maybe swappable player in that team if Luke Shaw raises his game. At the moment, no, you need Malacia to start in the Premier League. But for me, look, that back four, let's see what happens. I'm intrigued to see how Ten Hag will want to approach this game, because as we know, Spanish teams, we have not a good record against Spanish teams. We lost the Europa League to Villarreal, and we've seen it in the past. We haven't been very good against Spanish teams. Spanish teams, Sevilla have won, 4 Europa Leagues in the last 7 or 8 seasons. And look, Spanish teams are good at controlling the ball. They're good at keeping possession. And this is going to be interesting because we haven't had more possession than the opposition in the Premier League in the last 3-4 games. We've had less possession than most teams. Arsenal had more possession than us. Leicester had more possession than us. Southampton, I think we had a bit more, maybe 53% possession. So against Real Sociedad, which are, I think they've lost to Barca. They drew to Atletico. I think they're sitting mid-table right now, 9th or 10th in the league. Again, not a terrible team, not a great team. Kind of a mid-team in the Liga. And look, La Liga, we have to praise it. A lot of these Spanish teams are good on the ball. They have good coaching. And look, we struggled last season. We struggled last season in the group stages of the Champions League with Villarreal. And look, for a lot of the time, they were better on the ball than us. And against Real Sociedad, it will be incredibly interesting to see how Ten Hag approaches it, especially with a different lineup. Is he going to choose to play possession-based football? Is he going to want these players to keep the ball? Is he going to want to play more with a deeper line, considering we've got Maguire and Lindelof at the back, which I'm pretty much sure he's going to change that back four completely. He needs to rest those players who have played 90 minutes for 3 games in a row. So we need to see what happens there. And in the midfield, look, I think he's going to go with Casemiro, Fred and Van der Beek. So that's a complete change, really. I mean, Fred is still in and around that first team, in my opinion, but I do think that Fred and Casemiro will be in the midfield. And then you've got Van der Beek as a number 10. There's a chance that maybe Bruno plays. Eriksen will probably get a rest. To be fair, if Eriksen plays, he'll probably play as a number 10, and I think we'll see Casemiro and Fred in midfield. I do think that it's better to play Van der Beek because he does need game time, and if there is a game maybe where, for me, in my opinion, right now, it seems like Van der Beek is not being played because these other players offer something that he doesn't. It seems that, for me, this is the way I see it. I feel like he's not a player that clearly, look, Ten Hag clearly right now is adapted to the team. He's playing to their strengths. He realises that a lot of these players are not great in possession. McTominay's not great in possession. Fred is not that great in possession. And when we're controlling possession and we're basically battering lower tier teams, then perhaps you'll play Van der Beek, Eriksen in midfield with a Casemiro, or, you know, it confuses me why he hasn't played Casemiro, because I think Casemiro still needs to be protecting that back four in any game in the Premier League. Of course, he needs to get up to speed with the league. He's been a bit sloppy when he's come on, but we'll see the best out of Casemiro soon, definitely. But perhaps if there is a game we're probably going to get more possession, it's probably in this game. It probably is in Real Sociedad. Not that it will be way more possession, I don't think so, especially considering that we might be playing a lower block and maybe Real Sociedad will put a bit of pressure on us. They might press us quite a bit. And look, they're good at keeping the ball. Spanish teams are good at keeping the ball. So this could be a 50-50 possession-based game if Ten Hag realises that, look, he's well aware of the Spanish league, definitely, and he'll know what team to play. And for me, I think he's going to go with Van der Beek, Fred and Casemiro, that Brazilian link up. And I think Van der Beek will get some game time. He hasn't played much. So, and the front three, look, the fact that Alanga's been called up, it means that probably Alanga's going to play. And I think we might see either Sancho, because he's been taken off quite early in the last, what was it, 2 of the games in the last 3, he's been taken off 60th minute. Or we'll see Antony, which apparently the reports claim that Antony, Ronaldo and Maguire will start. So that's a very strong team. It's a very strong team. The problem with that is I don't think we'll be playing as much of a high line. I do think that Wan-Bissaka's not going to offer with a lot of us going forward. Yes, he's a good tackler of the ball. He's somewhat good defensively. Positionally, he's suspect at times. He's not going to offer as much going forward. Luke Shaw will probably be the main outlet from the left-hand side, putting crosses into the box. And look, the centre-back partnership, we can't be playing at a high line with Lindelof and Maguire. You can't. So it'll be up to Casemiro to have a solid game, protect that back four, and really, we need to be counter-pressing in midfield a lot, because if we lose possession of the ball, we need Casemiro to press. We need him to get those tackles, interceptions in, but mainly the tackles and the counter-pressing so we can win the ball back in midfield and then transition into attack. We need to be very good at that against Real Sociedad, because I have a feeling they're going to be really good in possession like most Spanish teams are. And we can't risk playing a high line. And even if we do play a high line, regardless, if you play a mid-block, a lower block, you still need your players to counter-press. And look, we've seen Ronaldo come off the bench and press for 30 minutes, but he's not going to do it for 90 minutes. He's not. Yes, he's pressed intensively against Arsenal when he came on. Really intensively. That's why we scored one of the goals. I think it might have been the second goal that we scored when it went 2-1. Ronaldo was one of the reasons why we scored that goal. The pressure he puts on, I think it was Saliba. He puts in a bad pass and then we counter-attack and we score. In this game, it's going to be different. It'll be interesting to see what Ten Hag tries to do. If he tries to play a high line, if he thinks it's worth the risk, he might do it, but we're going to be punished on the counter-attack for sure. So, and look, David Silva plays for Real Sociedad, and of course he's older, but he's still going to be a magician in midfield. So we're going to have to win that midfield battle, and we're going to have to be on from the get-go. We're going to have to be on it and aggressive. We have to be aggressive. That's what we've been in the last 2 games. We've been very aggressive. We've won the ball back. And we've been very good defensively. I want to see chances created in this game. And this is why I would have loved to see Delo and Malacia and Antony, which apparently is going to start. I would have loved to see it with Ronaldo, because I think there's a lot of chances to be created. Yes, the press might not be as intense from the front. I do still think that you can, rely on your counter-pressing in midfield and still rely on your wingers to press. You don't need Ronaldo to press constantly. You know, you press smartly. You don't have to press like a headless chicken, where we do see Bruno do at times, and then he leave gaps in midfield. And then if players don't pick up his position, such as Rashford or whoever's playing the striker position, if Bruno tends to take up that striker position, you're going to have a gap there. So for me, I think it's still a strong team. It will be interesting to see what Ten Hag chooses to do with the tactics. And in terms of prediction, I think we're going to win 2-1. I do think we'll concede because we've seen, look, if we play a high line especially, we'll definitely concede, definitely. But then if we play a lower block, then there's going to be pressure on us, but we need to press, regardless of the block, like I've said. Regardless of if we're playing high line or lower line, we need to be pressing and counter-pressing in midfield and win the ball back. And with Casemiro, Fred and Van der Beek in midfield, we're going to see that. We're definitely going to see that. And I want to see creativity, and that's it. So guys, let me know what you think. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later.